Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. Another video, as there is some buffs and nerfs going live on Tuesday. This will be just before Thanksgiving, and it will be on November 26th. Will be the live date. So keep that in mind. Upcoming class changes. We're gonna see some Blood Death Knight. Now this is gonna be interesting because I wonder if they're going to now differentiate them both. So this is a buff to a Deathbringer Reaper's Mark. Initial stacking damage increased by 25, exterminate damage 25, and Wave of Souls by 25. If that is specifically for buff that or for blood, that is very interesting. Frost DK is getting basically a net almost nerf, like they said here. We're increasing Frost DK single target damage will bring down their AoE to help create a healthier damage profile. Reduction 10% to breath, but you are getting Frost Strike and Obliterate both by 12. So it works out to almost a net zero gain, which what they're hoping for anyway. Druid, Resto, Swift Mend, Healing increased by 25. Another buff to Resto Druid. It's just buffed on every time. Feral is also getting a buff now. Rip, Rake, Rampant Ferocity, damage by 10. Apex Predator chance to trigger against multiple targets increase slightly. And Druid of the Claw, Strike of the Heart increases critical strike tension damage by Shred, Swipe, and Mangle by 15 was 10%. Guardian Druid getting a little buff. Druid of the Claw, Strike for the Heart Strike increased critical chance. Same, going to 15 was 10. Hunter, Survival. Survival has found a lot of success, and it's current with pack leader bleed synergies. We're just adjusting the build slightly. So Merciless Blow, damage reduced by 15%, does not apply to PvP. Pack leader, Vicious Hunt, damage reduced by 20%. So some nerfs going on here. Um, it is just, I guess, dominant. So I didn't think it was that dominant that you needed to nerf it. Let's just have a look here. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll go into the DPS side. We'll go to throughput. Yeah, I'm not sure why you need to nerf this and skip over a bunch above it, but hey, what do I know? Um, we'll just continue. Now, this isn't the best, like, overall be all. It's just Archon. It does a job of just comparing logs, but if you don't log, you can't compare. So, that's one of the things. Mage, Frostfire getting some rework as it's still underperforming and no one really plays it yet. Fire Mastery now grants 2% of haste was 1. The Comet Storm effectiveness increased to 200% was 150. That's 30% buff on that. Frostfire burst damage increased by 25%, infusion damage by 50%, and cooldown reduction by 10 seconds was 5. Ashen Feather Phoenix Flames damage bonus increased to 50% was 25. Pyroblast by 8%, and Meteor direct damage increased by 25%. Frost Spec itself is getting Frostfire Mastery now by 2% haste was 1. It's getting the Meteor effectiveness to 150 was 100. And getting the Frost Burst damage 25 and the Infusion damage 50 and the excess cooldown to 10 seconds. So a bunch of those buffs. Windwalker, Conduit of the Celestials, Strength of Black Ox by 100%, Flight of the Red Crane damage by 100%, and Courage of the White Tiger damage increased by 35%. I don't even know if that's going to be worth playing yet. Nobody plays Conduit of the Celestials on Windwalker. It is a mean nothing hero talent. Everyone plays Shadow Pan, and that's just the way it is. Fists of Fury getting a 20% damage increase, Blackout 10, and Zuan 40%. This happens every fucking X pack. They always have to buff it up because it doesn't do enough damage, and if they would just fix it to begin with, it would be fine, but they never do. You can watch my previous videos. I comment on this all the time. Courageous Impulse increases the damage of your next Blackout kick by 200% was 125, so a huge boost there. And Shadowboxing Treads now increase the damage of Blackout Kick by 20% and cause additional Blackout Kicks at 80% was 70. So huge buffs to your Blackout Kick. Should do very well. Their notes are we're increasing Windwalker's overall performance in AoE and single target through targeted adjustments to a few baseline spells. and push underrepresented talents. Oh, you think these, when 0 of the top 50 are running it, probably underutilized. Mistweaver, Con of the Celestials, Courage of the White Tiger, damage increased by 35%. You do play this quite often, actually. So, well, at least Con of the Celestials. It's a welcome change. I see nothing for Brewmaster again. Just let's skip that one because they're doing really well as tanks. So, yep, right down here. I guess it is pretty close balance right now. Everyone who was playing did go to Prop Valley. There's been keys at the top. Prop Warriors haven't played in almost like a month now. So, pretty sure everyone just switched hard to Prop Paladin. Moving on. Holy Priest getting a buff. Holy Word Serenity, healing increased by 25% and Sanctify by 25%. Cool. Rogue, Deathstalker as a healer. Talent choice has been underserving sub compared to alternate choices Trickster. Okay, so they want to buff some stuff. Deathstalker, Plague damage increased by 45. Black Powder damage increased by 20. Shaman, Elemental, Farseer. All Farseer changes. Chain lightning damage increased by 30%. Lava burst damage from ancestors 15. Lava and wisdom increased by 25 was 20. Routine communications going up to 8 was 5. And Maelstrom Supremacy increases damage to Earthshock, all that going to 15%. So they want you to play a little more Farseer, a little less Totemic. Restoration, Farseer, Chain Lightning damage from Ancestors increased by 30. Lava Burst from Ancestors increased by 15. I know some restos were playing Farseer. That is viable here. I don't believe it was really played at all on Elemental. You could really just check that pretty quick. I can tell you here really fast. Didn't play a lot of Shaman. There's so many Shamans this season that I didn't really play that much at all. So mine's still sitting pretty low. And we'll go to the hero talent section, and it is 100% Stormbringer, not Totemic. Stormbringer, not Farseer. Totemic would be the restoration version. Yeah, and they're majority playing Totemic, some Farseer. I know this still is pretty viable, not quite as much as Totemic, but this will be a nice increase for that. Enhancement. Here we go. We're reducing the power of Maelstrom weapon spenders for enhancement to lower their overall damage output. All Maelstrom weapon spenders reduced by 8%. Bam. All right then. That's yeah, that's pretty crazy. It is gonna have some big effects, but they are crushing damage. So I like how you leave, you're gonna nerf this one, but leave Elemental right there. Hey, it is what it is. But they make their choices. Going on to Warrior. Warrior is arms. Looks like some of the Colossus stuff. Colossus. Muscle Scar now reduces damage by 5% was 2. Dominance Colossus. Enemy damage by Demolish to deal up to 10% less was 5. They're making them a little tankier, and it looks like they're doing the same for the tanks. So Prop Alley. That is what's going on so far. I try to get through it as quickly as possible. It is getting later at night on Friday. If you do have any questions, as always, leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe. I'll leave the link in the description so you can have a look at it yourself if there's anything you want to mull over or dive into deeper. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.